Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Skyline Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity boys soccer contest between the visiting Timberwolves of Walpole High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Joining me on the mic today for the second Tuesday in a row and for another boys soccer contest. Some of you might remember him from the Framingham game last Tuesday. Brookline High freshman Sam Lowenstein. Sam, thank you for joining me again. Now, we talked a little bit about this matchup before we jumped on air here, talking a bit. Both of these teams have had some offensive struggles throughout the season, but there might be some opportunities to turn things around, right?
Well, for sure, and for Brookline, Walpole haven't won a game. They're 0-7, a Division II team versus Brookline, a Division I team. Brookline should have an opportunity to maybe get some goals, and based on what I saw during warm-ups, Brookline definitely looked to have the edge in terms of quality. We'll see how it goes once the game gets underway. And Brookline, 2 games ago against Weymouth, they won 3-1. They did lose to Newton South 3-0, but that 3-1 game definitely, Jesse, shows an outburst of offensive ability.
Indeed, and offense is certainly what Brookline is looking for. That 3-1 win over Weymouth, their only game so far with multiple goals scored. They currently stand at 1-5-2, 1 win, 5 losses, 2 draws. Walpole, like you said, 0-7. They had no goals through their first 4 games, but over the last 3 games, they've scored 5, including 2 games with 2 goals. So we'll see how these two teams match up here. We're going to run our intro video and then really get into this one. Alongside Sam Lowenstein here at Skyline Park, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. You are watching Brookline High Soccer. There's the kick. Scores! Wally Lawrence! Throwing it into the box. Header from Lockwood, knocked down, kicked, it is in! Grady Ames! Freedman across her, into the box, Nicoli heads it in! All right, we'll soon be getting this one started. We're slated for a 4 p.m. start time. Right now, 1 minute of 4. And as we get ready to get this one started, a reminder this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate, personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. All that information can be found in the description section down below, as can a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, which supports all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. So if you would like to show them some support, you can find the link to that Venmo account down in the description section down below. Just testing camera swivel here as we're about to get this one going. Sam, I think this is going to be a fun one. What do you think is going to be the key? What do you think is going to be the key difference maker here in this one?
Well, I think the key difference maker going into this game, Jesse, it's going to be finishing. Walpole have been having a little bit more success lately after they hadn't scored a goal in their first 4 games. Brookline, when they've scored goals, they've played well. When they scored 3 goals in the game 2 games ago, they were able to win it. They didn't score a goal in their last game. I think that's part of the reason they couldn't apply enough pressure on the other team to really make a difference. Also, I think just in terms of pure finishing, it's going to be the difference maker. I think Brookline will edge it out in terms of finishing and get this win.
We got ourselves a bold prediction from our color commentator today. I like it. We'll see how this one shakes out as we get ready for the start of the first half. Looks like Walpole's going to get the opening possession. We don't have the roster for Walpole today, unfortunately, but we'll just be narrating by jersey number for them. Of course, we do, as always, have the names for Brookline, and so we'll narrate this as we go. Walpole's number 9 setting up at midfield to get us started here in the first half of this ball game, and here we go. Warriors and Timberwolves starting it off. It's popped out to the far side. Walpole player was stumbling a bit, trying to keep control, lost it out of bounds.
Walpole trying to get it to 15 there, but he stumbled. As a quick throw from Brookline.
All right, and Brookline now a high pop towards the middle of the field, and it's tapped forward but blocked. Good efforts there by Koya Nicoli, but couldn't find the opening there as, I think we got a handball call against Walpole that time, so Brookline's going to get a free kick.
Brookline catching an early break, but it did look like they have 4 guys back, and they would have made a good defensive effort nonetheless.
That pass doesn't go where they wanted. Kicked away by the Timberwolves. Recovered awkwardly by Jonah Littman. Has to go back and pass it back to the goalie, Alex Smagula. Winds up and kicks it away despite the forward pressure. Deflects off one of the Timberwolves, and now a scrum around the middle. Number 5 for Walpole corrals it. Pass it down the near side. Chasing it down is number 11. 11 working on the near side. Now our camera's blind spot. Pass to the middle. Intercepted by Nate Lockwood. Lockwood's kick deflects a couple of times. Kicked back, and it's going to be lost out of bounds.
Well, Walpole, they've been trying to set up, getting the back pass to number 11, have him coming out of the left corner. Hasn't worked all that well out for them so far.
Throw in from Ben Spicer up to Jacob Friedman, and Friedman taken down. Stolen away by number 5, but now blocked by Spicer. Couldn't keep it in bounds. His foot was on the line.
And that one barely goes out. Walpole pressuring Brookline into the corner.
Always such a tight space to work off those throw-ins, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure.
Now it'll be a Walpole throw-in coming from number 11 up the line, and it goes off of Spicer's hand. Unlucky bounce.
Just popped against his foot, hit up against his elbow. As you said, Jesse, really unlucky for Brookline. Second handball in total of the game on either team.
Now setting up for the free kick is number 5.
So now Walpole brings most of their guys forward. Brookline playing everybody back, nobody to guard against the short.
And here comes the kick into the box, booted back out by Brookline's Travis Applebaum. Goes off the head of Friedman down the far side. Chasing after it was number 12, Ryan Goldberg. Now a couple of head deflections, and it goes out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball.
Before their Walpole, even though Brookline was had no guys coming forward.
Oh, they got some guys coming forward now. Grady Ames chasing it down along the baseline. Crosser in, and it's headed in! Koya Nicoli!
Beautiful cross in. Nicoli in the center of the box. He just smacks it down with a header.
Great efforts. Grady Ames, who scored a goal against Walpole last year, he gets the assist this time. Beautiful crosser over the outstretched hands of the goalie, and Koya Nicoli crashing into the box. Perfect timing for his second header goal in 3 games, as he also got one off the head in Brookline's win over Weymouth. We'll see if the pattern holds in Brookline's favor in this one as they take an early lead.
And I don't think you could put that cross any better, Jesse. As my prediction of Brookline's finishing outplaying Walpole's finishing, it's played true so far.
But now a big takeaway for Walpole. Long shot from 10 goes over the bar.
And that shot from 10, a knuckling ball, just goes over the bar. Almost jinxed myself there, but Brookline staying true 1-0.
Well, welcome to the announcer game, Sam, where you got to watch out for the announcer jinx. It'll get you.
I definitely had one last game when Brookline. Last game I was here 1 week ago when Brookline gave up the goal with a couple minutes left Definitely had a jinx in that game.
This one kicked up by Jack Fitzgerald, deflects off the head of Friedman, chased down again by Ames. Ames kicks the leader for Wally Lawrence. Lawrence getting around his defender. Lawrence approaching the box, crosser, shot, score! It's Jacob Friedman!
That ball knuckles through the defender on the ground. He gets it to Lawrence, and Wally Lawrence, he was playing in disguise. He came out of nowhere, and Friedman stayed with the play all the way, and he scores. And a crazy fast start for Brookline, Jesse.
An impressively fast start and great crossing passes. The passes have just been absolutely gorgeous, like you've said, Sam. And again, Grady Ames getting it started with that beautiful leader to Lawrence. Great cut around the defender, and then finds Friedman crashing into the box at just the right time. Brookline totally outpacing Walpole to start this one, 2-0 the score.
They're outpacing, finishing out everything.
Now Lawrence kicking one, launching it up for Friedman. They're not satisfied. They're keeping up the offensive push here in the first half. Already up 2. Pass goes back to Speicher. Speicher weaves around 1. Kicked into the box. Blocked and cleared out briefly, but taken back Lockwood. Lockwood looking around. Pass back for Applebaum. Applebaum taps it back to Lawrence, who goes back to Littman to reset. Littman swings it over to Speicher. To the middle, Lockwood wasn't ready for it, taken away by 5. Walpole trying to work it the other way, but Brookline keeping up that forward pressure. As this is a steal by Nicoli, taps it forward to Lawrence. Brookline back on the attack. Lawrence winds, fires, saved.
With that shot from Lawrence, Brookline, they've been taking more and more long shots ever since that first and second goal. Consistently, they've been taking more shots from outside, in addition to the crosses, seeing if something goes in.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. You take the shots that the defense gives you. And so far, the Brookline defense not giving Walpole much of anything. They had that one long shot that flew over the bar, but they haven't been able to generate much else. Meanwhile, Brookline already 2 on the board. Koya Nicoli and Jacob Friedman each scoring 1, with assists coming from Grady Ames on the first and Wally Lawrence on the second. Now battling, it's recovered by Goldberg. Goldberg passes it back to Fitzgerald, gets it away to Littman. Littman sends it up for Lockwood. Lockwood taps it across Goldberg. Out far side, Applebaum. Applebaum up the line to Lockwood, back to Applebaum. And now they go from Lawrence all the way back to Littman.
Walpole shifting all the way over to the right. Now they have to get even.
And Fitzgerald sends one too far for Speicher. It rolls out of bounds, Walpole ball.
Walpole, they were set up all the way on the right side. Brookline there was trying to traverse fields, just didn't work out.
Throw in deflects off ahead, and now tapped forward from Lockwood to Ames. Pass outside Lawrence. Lawrence now picking up speed, disrupted, and trying to stay with the ball despite the double team. He does manage to maintain possession and kicks it across field to Speicher. Speicher dribbling up, passes outside Goldberg. Goldberg working up the wing, looking, surveying, floats one in, deflects off a defender's head and out of the box. Now popped up in the air to clear it out further away. Fitzgerald heads it. Lockwood taps it forward. Lockwood couldn't stay with it off the defensive double team, but Walpole struggling to maintain possession here as 10 passes back to 11. His kick blocked by Lockwood, and it's going to fly out the back line for a goal kick. That almost turned into another takeaway for the Brookline offense.
Yet again, in Brookline's offense and their defense, they've been outpacing. They've been more physical than Walpole, and the closest Walpole's really has gotten is just outside the final third. As you said, Jesse, they had that one shot, but besides that, they haven't been able to get close to Brookline's goal.
This goal kick flies up, deflected down, and ultimately recovered by the Timberwolves. 20 kicks it forward to 9, tapped back to 10. 10 trying to kick a leader. Applebaum cuts it off. Bouncing towards the sideline, and Walpole couldn't quite corral it. Out of bounds, Brookline ball.
Walpole's been trying to work the right sideline, haven't had a lot of success.
As we've got a whistle here. Was that a throw-in violation?
He threw it out of bounds.
Oh.
At least what it looks like to me, either that or a violation.
Yeah. It can be so tricky to tell because Skyline, it kind of creates an optical illusion at field level because we're on a hill, so it's almost like you can see the curvature of the field. Battling on the far side, Walpole keeping it so far. That kick blocked, kept in bounds by Brookline, and they take it away. Lawrence kicks to the middle, finds his target. That's Nicoli. Nicoli passing it forward, chased down. A shot from Ames is taken off the ground by the keeper.
Brookline have been getting those small little through balls into Coy and Nicoli and the rest of their attackers, not just in Nicoli, but as a general, their offense, those through balls that are able to shift through the Walpole defense.
Long goal kick. Spicer taps it back to Fitzgerald, goes back to Smagula. Smagula out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald goes to the sideline to Spicer. He lost control of it, out of bounds.
Small mistake from Spicer, and really the only chances that Walpole has gotten are off those small mistakes from Brookline. Brookline, besides the unforced errors, haven't been getting Walpole anything.
11 to throw it in. Deflects down. 20 pops it in the air. And physical there, but no whistle as Lawrence clears it away. Now booted back by 6. And Smagula chasing it down. Almost looked like a punt returner muffing a punt on that one as he briefly drops it but recovers.
And you gotta wonder, Jesse, if he comes near the edge of the box, if he accidentally touches it outside the box, Walpole just trying to create a little bit of havoc there possible. You gotta think.
Absolutely. Couple deflections there, rolls out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball as I think we got some subs checking in on both sides. For Brookline, among the subs, I see number 10, Danmarth Dovillier. I also see number 26, Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick. My first time seeing him on the field so far this season. Not sure if he started off the year with an injury, but he's getting a chance to play here. Now this is Nicoli kicking a leader. Dovillier off to the races. And almost cut off is cut off. It's knocked out of bounds by number 6. It'll be a Brookline throw-in.
Danmarth Dovillier trying to back heel it, get around the Walpole defense. Just can't, but regardless, a throw-in.
Now Brookline working on that near side. Nicoli sneaks one through to Dovillier. Crosser knocked. Saved! What a save by the Walpole keeper. Ames had a gimme there off a great crosser from Dovillier, but a nice save keeps it at 2-0.
Grady Ames, a golden chance. Just a tap in there from Ames. He just misses it. Can't get enough on it, and the keeper parries it away.
Ames now recovers this ball at midfield, passes it out to Spicer. Spicer working up the wings, sends it up to Dovillier. Dovillier to the middle to Lockwood, back out to Dovillier. This one might be going too far. Dovillier on his horse, keeps it inbounds just barely. Launches in a crosser, and Lawrence couldn't get his foot on it. And it's going to roll out of bounds for a goal kick.
Danmarth Dovillier curling it around the goal line, and he nearly finds Wally Lawrence at the back post. Brookline, they've had great timing today, and they just miss it now.
Still 2-0. Brookline firmly in control here in the first half and keeping up the pressure on a windy day out here at Skyline Park.
It's just seemed that they've outpaced and they've just had a little bit of an edge, somewhat just of a physical edge over Walpole. That's been the big difference, at least for me so far.
And we got another takeaway by Brookline. I think that was Lockwood. A couple passes, goes back to Nicoli. Nicoli surveying, passes back. Oh, there's Lockwood. My mistake. I think that was Schreiber-Wachnick who got the initial takeaway. Walpole takes back, long pass up too far. Lockwood cuts it off. Taps forward for Applebaum, who dribbles back. Decides to send it back to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald dribbling up the middle. Long kick up. Is intercepted by 13, but Ames applying pressure. Ames takes it away. Ames off to the races. Ames pass across, and the goalie slides in and takes it away as Dovillier and Nicoli were both right there to potentially kick it in if he hadn't.
Grady Ames sent him in on skates there as he dribbles around him, makes him fall. Good dribble moves there. He plays it, and he just can't find Dovillier.
Brookline, a lot of near chances after those first two scores. Like you said, Sam, just absolutely outpacing them offensively and putting so much pressure on the Timberwolves defense. Number 11 kicks this forward for Walpole off the head of 9, but kicked away by Applebaum. Recovered by 5. 5 kicks one forward, deflected down, kicked away by Schreiber-Wachnick. Deflects back to Schreiber-Wachnick. Pass to the outside, Applebaum. Applebaum. Pass up for Dauvilliers. Dauvilliers dribbling. Pass, Ames. Ames. Tap a leader, but Dauvilliers cut off by multiple defenders, but some miscommunication by the Timberwolves, and they knock it out the back line to trigger a corner kick.
So number 11 came onto that. Him and number 2 converging. Number 2 thought he had the ball. Number 11 thought that Dauvilliers was going to get it as he knocks it out, not knowing that the other man was there. And just, as you were saying, miscommunication there. And it's been just little errors, physical errors, mental errors for Walpole's. They've struggled today.
Speicher, the corner kick off the head of a Walpole player, goes back, and Lawrence goes for a bit of a roundhouse kick on that one, and couldn't quite get his foot on it cleanly. He slices it way over the bar.
And that ball hits a tree, goes super far. Somebody on the far side of our screen running to get it, as he sent that one a long way.
Now Walpole trying to work through midfield again. Hard collision by Applebaum, and Dauvilliers takes it away, taps to the middle, finds Lockwood. Lockwood running with it in transition. Kicks one forward, and too far for number 16, Jad Torres, who's checked in for the Warriors, as scooped up by the keeper.
Applebaum getting his body into a man. Yet another time where Brookline just stronger, not just faster, but just seeming a little bit stronger than Walpole.
This long kick cut off by Fitzgerald. He taps it out for Speicher along the near sideline. Speicher bringing it up. Passes up to Lockwood. Lockwood kicks, deflects off a defender, and they try and clear it out. Heads it forward, cut off by Lockwood. Tapped back Lawrence. Lawrence sends it up to Ames. Ames looking. Oh, miscommunicated. Torres was thinking stop and cut back, but Ames was thinking he would keep going, and he just ends up sending it out the back line.
Also, Jad Torres calling for the ball there. Ames possibly thought he could have been offside, and then Torres couldn't get to it. Small miscommunication there.
Couple subs checking in on both sides. Looks like Ryan Goldberg back into the game, replacing Ben Speicher on that near side defensive wing. Goal kick. Tapped back, 11 kicks it forward, downed by Lawrence, but chased down by 5, sends it out to the far side, too far, out of bounds, Brookline ball.
Walpole had nobody on the right side. They pulled everyone to the middle.
And this kick out of range for Lawrence, but it's chased down by Torres, who taps it back for Lawrence. Lawrence pops one up in the air, too far forward for Lockwood to take, and it's taken off a hop by the keeper.
Well, it seems like a lot of these balls that when Walpole makes a mistake pass and nobody's there, Brookline seems like they're always on it. But when Brookline makes a mistake pass, somebody seems they're always able to pick him up. Brookline with more awareness today.
Meanwhile, Walpole trying to push it forward, and that one is out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be Brookline ball.
Walpole trying to work the right side yet again. They've definitely had their most success of the game working that right side. They've gotten some corner or some throw-ins off of that.
Wally Lawrence kicks a long one up to Torres. Torres dribbling, trying to gain the edge here. Sends in a crosser off the hand of the keeper. Dauvilliers was crashing in to head that one in, but the keeper knocks it away before it can get to him.
Keeper parries it away with a backhand there, just trying to get the ball out of his sights, out of anything, and let his team recover.
The Walpole keeper has been working overtime trying to keep this a 2-goal game. Brookline leading 2-0 so far here in the first half. No scoreboard clock here, so we can't tell you exactly how much time is left in the half. The only way we'll be able to know is once the double whistle comes from the official to signal halftime. Fitzgerald with plenty of room to work. He sends one forward for Dauvilliers. Dauvilliers, crosser, and knocked away by the Walpole defense, recovered by Lockwood, who spins a defender out of his shoes. Charges in, crosser, wide of anybody. That might have been a shot, and he just put a little too much curve on that. Just a little too much mustard on that one.
Fitzgerald, nobody was on him as he ran straight away, creating a chance for Dauvilliers. And then after that, Nate Lockwood sending yet another man, Brookline sending yet another man on skates. Their dribble moves have been on point today.
Long goal kick. Bounces out of bounds.
Brookline with a quick throw.
Bouncing along, and Dauvilliers got pushed in the back, and they called it. It'll be a free kick for Brookline, just past midfield.
And the speed of Denmark Dauvilliers to get in there before the defender can, able to draw so many fouls with that.
Ames battling, but it's poked loose by the Walpole defense. So rare one-on-one win for the Timberwolves in that matchup. But Ames saying, no, I'm taking that back. Knocks it to Torres. His kick blocked, but recovered by Lockwood. Lockwood taps it back. Lawrence pops it out near side to Goldberg. Goldberg looking, still looking. Wants a clean option, sends it out near side to Torres. Torres crosser into the box, and the kick goes wide off the foot of Schreiber-Wachnick.
Well, Jad Torres was calling it about 5 seconds before he even got the ball. So he was able to communicate with his teammate, a solid cross in, and Brookline, another shot. And the Walpole keeper, he's been busy, but even the shots that Brookline has missed, they've been creating good chances. They've had a lot of good crosses. And that's been really apparent ever since this game started. Brookline been dominant in the final third.
Checking in for Brookline in that last substitution was number 15, Santi Sierra, who's now got the ball. Passes forward for Schreiber-Wachnick. Schreiber-Wachnick charging up with it. Pass deflects off the back foot of Torres, recovered by Goldberg. And Torres wasn't ready for that pass, taken away by Walpole's 22. But now confusion on their pass for Walpole, and Lockwood takes the free gift there, passes it back to Applebaum. Applebaum walking it up. Applebaum's got a bit of an opening, taps it forward. Schreiber-Wachnick tries an extra pass. Fighting through is Applebaum, but too many defenders. It gets knocked away, out of bounds. Brookline throw in.
Jesse, nobody on Applebaum. He weaves his way between the defense.
And now a throw in. A long kick is high and wide from Lawrence. He likes to attack those high bouncing balls, but it can be so hard to get a clean kick when you're not sure what the height of the ball is going to be.
Wally Lawrence, a real power player, like really strong physically, good power shot, and he's also been bodying people a lot today.
Walpole with the goal kick, downed by Lawrence, recovered by Sierra. Sierra sends it forward. Dauvilliers charging in. Shot off the outside of the net.
Jesse almost looked like an optical illusion there. The ball going in the net. He just hit it in the side netting. But as we talked about this last time I covered this, there was a shot from Framingham that looked like it went in. It was in the side netting. That one, a similar shot. It almost looked like Dauvilliers was able to turn it in, but he couldn't.
Optical illusion is the perfect phrasing for it, Sam. It throws off so many people when that happens. And now Walpole trying to work it up that right sideline like you were talking about. Number 4, crosser. And it was deflected down by the Brookline defense. Smagula comes out and picks it up, as Walpole generating their first offensive chance in a good while on that play.
One of their first offensive chances in the game, period.
And now Lawrence launches a long kick far side. Dauvilliers trying to chase down, but too far, goes out of bounds.
Well, the game plan for Brookline has been Wally Lawrence booting the ball deep, trying to cross it in, whether it's from his own half or into the box.
Now Brookline another takeaway in their own offensive end as they get set up. Torres pass it back. Goldberg. Pass across Lawrence. Lawrence up to Schreiber-Wachnick. Schreiber-Wachnick surrounded by defenders, and they knock it away. 21 corrals it for the Timberwolves, but he's cut off immediately by Fitzgerald, who sends it back to Smagula to reset. Smagula now out to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald kicks it up too far for Lockwood, too far for Torres, and it rolls out of bounds.
Just a little bit too far for Torres. You could see him thinking about running for it, but in the end, just a little bit too much. The right idea for Brookline. They just can't execute it. They were trying to turn it up on the right side. Some low balls coming through. They've been able to exploit that area of the field so far today.
11 throws it in for 21. 21 pass to the middle, intercepted. Sierra knocked away by the Timberwolves, but it's chased down by Lippman. Lippman passes for Lawrence. Lawrence, a little tricky there as he goes back to Fitzgerald. Around the triangle they go as it's back to Lippman. Lippman up to Lawrence. Lawrence goes near side to Goldberg. Goldberg, kick towards the box, deflects off ahead, and it's rolling all the way down. Number 4 keeps it in, sends it up the far sideline. Walpole still trying to battle. They lose it out of bounds.
Looks like Goldberg was trying to target Damar Dovillier, but it hit off a defender and deflected out as a whistle was blown here.
Yeah, it was out of bounds.
More subs.
Yep. Off the out of bounds, more Brookline subs coming in. Looks like Nicoli is back in the game, as is Ames. Throw in, corralled by Sierra. Sierra passes back Lawrence. Lawrence walking it up. Still walking it up, picking up speed. Lawrence tried it himself, and he's blocked, and it flies out the back line. That's going to be a corner.
Wally Lawrence like a one-man wrecking crew there. No defender making a challenge on that one. Gives him the shot. It gets deflected.
Oh.
And now halftime.
Is it halftime? I think it might be a...
Or a break,
might be a timeout. Might have been a time... You know what? It might be that it's late in the first half and Brookline's about to set up for a corner kick. It might be a timeout. I don't think it's full halftime yet. Regardless, we're going to take a moment for an ad read and remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS Sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. All that can be found in the description section down below. 2-0 the score. Brookline firmly in control. Their first goal scored by Koya Nicoli, assisted by Grady Ames. The second one, Jacob Friedman, assisted by Wally Lawrence. As we do still have the replay of that last goal, as Ames sent it up to Lawrence. Nice cut around a defender, and then a crosser easily through for Friedman to score on that one. And Sam, it's just been all Brookline offensively so far.
Brookline's really dominated this game physically in terms of just pure strength, pure speed. They've had more chances. Walpole's only had a couple times they've even been in Brookline's final third. Don't think they've only had that one. They had one shot earlier in the game that just went above the bar. That's been really the only real chance for Walpole and their best chance. Besides that, Jesse, it's just been all Brookline. Tons of shots, tons of good crosses into the box, and we're to the point where it's almost like we're not even thinking shots as a big deal for Brookline, the amount of shots on target they've been able to get.
Absolutely, and our instincts were right. That was a timeout, not the half. It can be a little confusing sometimes.
For sure, you corrected me on that one, Jesse.
Yeah, no, I mean, it throws me off every single time, too, because it's very frequent that coaches will call a timeout late in a half because they want to give their team, like, a play. It's almost like a timeout in basketball when you want to draw up a play during the timeout, make sure everybody's organized. But because it's so close to halftime, you get confused by the whistle about, wait, is it a timeout? Is it halftime? What's going on? But they are going to set up for the corner kick here.
Here. It's one of our blind spots. It's the taker.
Yeah, I think it's Sierra. Header! Score! Jack Fitzgerald off the corner assist from Santi Sierra.
Jack Fitzgerald off the back of his head as it rolls by the goalkeeper for Walpole. Fitzgerald was left unmarked in the middle. As Walpole was trying to guard the near and the back post, Jack Fitzgerald, nobody home for him, and he blasted in. The back of his head, just whipping it down.
Brookline has now matched their highest scoring output of the season so far with their third goal. Jack Fitzgerald assisted by Santi Sierra on the corner kick there. And again, it's those crosser passes have been everything for Brookline in this game as they commit a handball there. It'll be a free kick for Walpole.
There's been multiple handballs this game, Jesse. That's been one of the big miscues, one of the big themes for Brookline. If anything negative about their performance, it's been that they've had a couple of handballs. Besides that, they pretty much played flawless.
Walpole setting up for this one. Brookline, just their second game this season with multiple goals scored, but they have been, as we've said several times, absolutely dominant against a struggling Walpole squad. Here, a long kick. Torres on his horse, but the defender gets there first. Torres keeping up the pressure, though. He does get the ball, tries to spin off his defender. Torres looking, his crosser walled by a defender, kept in bounds and cleared out of the box. Recovered by Nicoli, taps it for Ames. Ames weaves around multiple defenders, still with the ball. Now it's knocked away, but recovered by Sierra. Pass to the middle, back to Nicoli. Nicoli sends it outside to Ames. Offsides called.
Ames just offsides there, but that whole attack, that whole chance started by Wally Lawrence booting it up, kicking it deep from behind midfield. It's looked like that's been the strategy this game for Brookline, Jesse, and it's worked out really well. Wally Lawrence playing a defensive role and then coming up almost like a defensive midfield.
Well, I mean, he really feels like he's playing like a box-to-box midi today. He's been on offense and defense, just been everywhere, and it's why he gets those opportunities like we saw earlier where the defense just left him uncovered.
Most definitely.
You know, because they expect him to stay back and do what you just said, do those big kicks upwards, but then he's also capable of just taking off with such blinding speed when he dribbles that you've got to account for that too. That versatility makes him such a weapon for the Brookline offense.
And when they're worried about him kicking deep, they got to stay back, but then when he comes forward, there's nobody to press.
Now Ames sends a kick forward, and that's going to roll wide of the net.
Grady Ames trying to take a long shot of his own as he just misses, but at this point, being up 3-0, dominating like Brookline is, you got to think, Jesse, why not take those shots? Why not take the long shot, see what you can do with it?
Exactly.
See if we can get a deflection or it goes in.
Goal kick for Walpole. Couple deflections, goes back to the Brookline end, recovered by Fitzgerald, the scorer of Brookline's third goal today. Smagula pops one up in the air, downed by Nicoli, pass back Lawrence, up in the air, downed by Torres, and it's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Brookline ball.
Comes over to us. Brookline throwing from about midfield here.
Substitution for Brookline, checking in for the first time for the Warriors today, number 13, Julian Weil.
Throw in. Sophomore.
Throw-in goes back to Fitzgerald, now up to Goldberg. Goldberg pops one up, and Friedman called offsides.
Not a really close offsides. Jacob Friedman looks like he possibly got his knee or his toe or his foot just in front.
He got his whole self past the defender there. The thing is, he tried to jump back afterwards, but it's kind of like when in American football an offensive lineman jumps past the line of scrimmage and then it's like, oh, whoops, jumps back. It's still going to be called for an eligible man downfield in a play like that. And on a play like that, you're still going to get called for offsides, as frustrating as it might be for the Brookline faithful. But, I mean, not much frustration to be had when you're up 3.
You bet, Jesse.
Long kick up. Littman heads it to the outside. Couldn't keep it in bounds, but smartly keeps it away from the middle to prevent any potential attacks. Throw in for Walpole.
Now Walpole shifting their thrower, and now it's number 2 to take. Walpole looks like they got 3 guys back. 1 person in the midfield, and then everybody else near or inside the box.
This throw likely going to fly towards the box, almost similar to a corner kick here. Bouncing, and they sliced that kick. It flies high.
That's one of the better chances Walpole has had this game. That's just a minuscule amount of chances that they have had, Jesse. Brookline, they've been playing compact too. Walpole has had a couple opportunities to take long shots, but when you're not up 3-0, you can't just afford to take a shot and see what happens like Brookline's been doing.
Now Smagula sends one out to Fitzgerald. Upfield, cut off, intercepted by 10. Trying to tap it forward. Walpole trying to apply some pressure here as 20 heads that one. But now cut off by Lawrence. Kicks it back to Smagula, and Smagula boots it upfield. Deflected down, taken by the Timberwolves. Pass up, deflected, Ames slides it out to Nicoli. Nicoli boots it upfield, blocked by number 2. Big defensive play there. Swooping in and taking it as Weil, passes it back to Lawrence. Lawrence jukes around 1, passes forward, blocked. And now Walpole trying to clear. As a scrum for the ball, it's booted away now. Recovered by Speicher. Speicher trying to fight around. Speicher still fighting forward now. It's booted away by number 5. Chasing it down is Littman. Littman sends it back. Smagula. Smagula out to Littman. Now they work it to the far side rather. From the far side, Goldberg dribbling towards the middle. Now kicking one across the field. Nicoli takes it, no offsides, but a little trouble dribbling it. Now taps a leader for Weil, too far, and the goalie scoops it up.
Brookline, they haven't been working the far side of the field that much today, but it works out there as Walpole brought all their defenders over. Nicoli, nobody was on him. He almost generates an opportunity. But Brookline, they've been really playing well from all parts of the field. Not that much on the far side, but they've been using everything.
Now Goldberg passes over to Ames. Ames blocked on that one. Still fighting for it, and it's knocked away. Covered now by Littman. Pass for Goldberg. Taps to the outside to, I believe, Sierra. Pass. Intercepted briefly, but Ames giving him a fight for it. Now kicked away by 2. And Walpole recovers it on the far side. Dribbles towards the middle. And a couple players tangled up, and no whistle in either direction as Lawrence swoops in, takes it away. Taken back by 5. Gets a pass away as he slips and falls, and now we've got a whistle blown. That's either out of bounds or a foul. This might be a free kick for Walpole. Not sure. We'll see.
And a whole lot of contact in that exchange. A couple plays before on the initial collision, it looked like it was a foul on Brookline, but the referee didn't call it. Nonetheless, looks like a free kick here for Walpole in a potentially dangerous area. But you got to think, Jesse, maybe their 4th real chance of the game. Brookline's done a great job on defense in the midfield to limit these opportunities.
This opportunity results in a header, but it's taken off a hop by Smagula. Reads it well as he just couldn't get enough power on the header from that distance. Battling for it. And it's stolen away by Walpole. Pass forward for 9. Taps it forward. A big chance here. Shot and punched away by Smagula.
Alex Smagula diving to his left, extends with the right hand. He's able to parry and whip it away. His first real save of the day.
Is correct. As we take a quick look at the replay, nice left-handed save by Alex Magula on that play. It does draw a corner for Walpole, though, as they might have another big scoring opportunity here. This one flies in through the hands of Smagula, kept in play by Walpole, but now cleared out by Nicoli. Down to the Walpole end, 11 kicks it away, and it bounces out of bounds. And it'll be Brookline ball as two subs checking in for Brookline here. I see number 9, Maury Shende Ruiz checking in, and also number 22, Nate Lockwood back into the game.
Their Walpole almost panicking a little bit. You could hear some of the players saying, "Get it out, get it out." That's been the story of this game. The pressure Brookline's been able to apply.
Now Lockwood passing out far side, kicked up, and
offsides.
Yep.
Maurice Shende Ruiz just coming off offsides. Looked like by about half of a leg.
Smart play by the Walpole defense. Usually you don't expect defenders to jump up and trigger the offside that close to midfield, but that's exactly what the Timberwolves did. As number 2 boots this free kick towards the box. Jumping catch by Smagula.
And Jesse, you got to think the Walpole defense, they need to try everything they have. The offside trap has worked out pretty well for them. They've been able to get a couple offsides for Brookline without giving up that many chances when they've been operating it.
Throw in. Pass back, Smagula boots it upfield. Deflects forward and popped up in the air. Taken back by Spicer. Spicer passes it back to Lockwood. Lockwood up the far side, taking off with speed, charging in. Lawrence shot off the side of the net.
Wally Lawrence, another illusion there, as it looked like for a second that he got it in. And Lawrence, yet again, Jesse, nobody was guarding him. He just meandered his way down the far side of the field with no defense.
Yep. And I have to correct myself. I misled you there, Sam. That wasn't Wally Lawrence. That
Lockwood.
was no. It was Goldberg.
Oh, Goldberg.
Yeah, Lockwood sent the pass. I knew it wasn't him, but I only saw 2 speeding down the field. But it turns out that 2 was the second number, not the first, as it was number 12, Ryan Goldberg. And it's Goldberg now at the ball as he taps it over to Lockwood.
And the midfielders for Brookline, they've been applying most of the offensive pressure in addition to the strikers, been making just as big of an impact this game.
Pass goes up to Nicoli. That pass blocked by the Walpole defense. Nicoli staying with it, but now taken away by 10. 10 taps it back to 2, outside 11. 11, kick forward. Smagula racing out and booting it away. Deflects, and now off to the races. Grady Ames, potential breakaway. Ames, shot, scores! Grady Ames.
Grady Ames. Brookline, a deep ball, nobody there. The hustle from the Brookline attackers, and Grady Ames, he gets to it, hits it in the bottom right corner. No way the goalkeeper for Walpole could get to it, and it's just a party here at Skyline Park.
Grady Ames, and I think the assist there might have gone to Maury Shende Ruiz if it touched his head on that deflection, but if not, then the assist would go to Alex Magula, the goalie, as that was just a long kick, and Walpole caught fishing for an offsides call or trying to apply some pressure and get the ball back going the other way, and Grady Ames pours on the Jets to take full advantage with the lefty shot for that goal there. His second year in a row scoring a goal against Walpole, and he's got a goal and an assist now today.
Jesse, we were praising the offside trap defense of Walpole. Brookline now able to exploit it.
And they were looking for another exploit there, but not that time, as fishing for the offside does work for Walpole, as Nicoli jumps off sides.
When Nicoli just not able to hold his run, but not every day do you see an assist from the goalkeeper. If it is true that it didn't hit off of Maurice Shendy-Ruiz's head, not every day they see an assist from the goalie.
Yeah, I might check that replay again during halftime just to satisfy my own curiosity. But for now, 4-0 the score in favor of Brookline, their highest scoring game of the season, as they've just had easily their best all-around performance of any game so far here against a struggling Walpole squad. Now working on the far side, I believe, is Sierra. Passes it back to Lippman. Lippman up to Shendy-Ruiz, knocked away from him, and Walpole goes on the counter. But it's taken back now, far side by Goldberg. Or no, by Lockwood, excuse me. Now passes far side, I believe that is Sierra. Passes back to Lippman. Lippman up now, it's Goldberg. Goldberg kicks a high leader. And 11 taps it away. Nicoli was patiently waiting to keep from going off sides, but 11 takes advantage. But it will be a Brookline throw-in.
And Nicoli, he was calling for it for a while on that play, staying off sides as Walpole shifted to the far side. Nobody to mark Nicoli.
Now Fitzgerald passes up to Ames. Ames, pass back. Fitzgerald launches one. Just out of reach. Maurice Shendy-Ruiz was crashing in to try and knock in that crosser.
In the cross game from Brookline, Jesse's been creating havoc.
And now that is going to be the double whistle for halftime. And boy, would you believe we're only halfway through this game with this score. At half, the score, Brookline 4, Walpole 0. For Brookline, I'm going to see if I can recall every goal so far. First one came from Koya Nicoli. The second one from Jacob Friedman. The third one from Jack Fitzgerald. And the fourth one from Grady Ames. As we take a look at the replay of that last goal by Ames, and I think that assist was from the goalie Alex Smagula on a long kick, because it looks like Shendy-Ruiz actually went under the defender, so it definitely didn't deflect off his head. So Alex Smagula with the fourth assist, Santi Sierra with the third assist when Fitzgerald scored on the corner kick. The second assist to Friedman's goal came from Wally Lawrence, and then Grady Ames not just scoring the fourth goal, but also getting the first assist on the goal by Koya Nicoli. So 1 goal and 1 assist so far for the senior captain Ames. And we head into the break with a 4-0 score.
Jesse, I said it before the game. I believed that Brookline was going to get this win against Walpole. I didn't think that it would be 4-0. I thought that they would beat them handily, but the performance from Brookline in this game, it's been a party for absolutely everybody. Everyone on Brookline has had a good game. Even Spagula getting an assist.
Yep. My friend, you might have just delivered the strongest reverse announcer jinx that I've ever seen with your pregame call on that one. But as we head to break, reminder, this broadcast is brought to you in part by Esch Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. Book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eschdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to easchdental.com. All that information in the description section down below, as is the link for the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, which supports all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. So if you'd like to support them, check out that link there. And you can also find a couple links relating to our local charity spotlight, Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those experiencing homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those struggling with homelessness warm during the colder months, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. Over the past 3 years, Brookline Cares has purchased and distributed over 200 Empower Coats and 1,000 pairs of Bombas socks to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless, and you can help them bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section of this video, you can find a link on the website classy.org where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team supporting their efforts to purchase more Empower Coats. Or if you're a student interested in joining Brookline Cares, you can find another link in the description section, this one to the organization's own website on wixsite.com, where you can find out more information about the group and how you can contact them. Once again, check out those links in the description section down below and help spread the warmth with Brookline Cares. So all that information you can find in the description section down below. But for now, it is halftime. Sam and I are going to take a break and mute the mics here. But we will be back with the second half of this ball game. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, joined by Sam Lowenstein here at Skyline Park in Brookline, Massachusetts. We are here to bring you the second half of today's high school varsity boys soccer contest between the hosting Brookline High Warriors and the visiting Walpole High Timberwolves. And Sam, Brookline firmly in control of this one with a 4-0 advantage as we get ready to start the second half. It's been as one-sided as it gets, really.
There's really been no competition, Jesse. Only a few chances for Walpole. Only three real shots in the game. Only one difficult save that Spagula had to make, where he sprawled out to his left. An impressive save. He was able to parry it away. But it's been countless shots for Brookline. And that's been the real difference in this game. When we look at a chance for Walpole, that seems like a big deal. But Brookline, it's just every 1-2 minutes they're taking a shot or two.
And now we start the second half. We'll see how this one plays out. Brookline with the opening possession here in the second half. They work it all the way back to the goalie, Alex Smagula. Goes up to Jonah Littman and to Travis Applebaum. Now back to Littman. And goes back to Applebaum. Brookline working slow up this near side. Pass towards the middle. Intercepted by Walpole's number 13. Pass to number 6. Wrestled loose by Koya Nicoli and Grady Ames. They pass it up to Jacob Friedman. Friedman off to the races. Friedman dribbling in. Friedman weaving. Leaves it for Nicoli. Nicoli, pass blocked. Brookline just got overthought that play just a little bit, looking for a high-quality shot. And the Walpole defense recovers and knocks it away.
And Jacob Friedman was weaving his way back and forth through the line, similar to in the first half of Wally Lawrence. And also Goldberg, bunch of players for Brookline. Nobody was able to stop him. That's basically what happened with Friedman, but he second guesses himself, dips off to Nicoli, and Walpole's able to stop him.
Now Walpole was able to clear out that ball, but it's stolen back by Nicoli. Pass it back to Nate Lockwood. Goes back to Littman. Littman, a long pass up. Finds Lawrence. Wally Lawrence sending a leader. Charging in. Grady Ames. Shot saved by the Walpole keeper.
Grady Ames hit straight at the keeper, parries it away with his legs.
And boy, if not for two great saves by the Walpole keeper, Ames could have a hat trick today. As got a hard trip up there on the far side as Ames was trying to advance the ball again. Now Walpole trying to clear it out far side. 11's pass. Almost intercepted by Lockwood, but it's kept on the attack by Walpole. Pass from 5 out near side to 15. 15 kick blocked by Littman, but now kicked forward again, I think by 5. Number 9 racing after it, but it's kicked away by Jack Fitzgerald. He gets it out the sideline, so it'll be a throw-in rather than a corner kick.
But yet again, for Brookline getting a shot here early in this second half, basically the same trends as the first. A nice save from the Walpole keeper. As you said, Jesse, he's made some really good saves in this game. This game could easily be 6-7-0. He's kept them sort of remotely, not even in the game, but
this throw in off ahead, bouncing across, all the way across, and nobody got it as Lawrence chases it down. Now does a back heel pass, and it's cleared out by Ben Speicher, flies out of bounds.
Speicher was looking for Jacob Friedman, running down on the far side of the screen. Friedman, marked by a man, was onside, and he just hits it a little bit out of bounds.
Now a throw-in down that same far side, knocked out by Speicher, and now it'll be a throw-in for Walpole deep in the Brookline end.
Walpole still working our far side. They worked it pretty well in the first half, at least compared to what else they had done in the first half, and now they're working the far side here in the second.
Throw-in goes back, now passed forward, kicked towards the middle, knocked away by the Brookline defense. I think that was Ryan Goldberg who knocked that one away. Couple of headers. Deflects up to Walpole's number 15, deflects it back to 5, pass back to 2, up to 15 again. Now out to number 19. 19, pass up the middle, pass back 19, give and go. A shot blocked by Fitzgerald. Blocked again by Fitzgerald, and he clears it out. Now Brookline working it the other way. Goldberg, pass up, Friedman. Friedman blocked by a slide tackle there from number I think 13 as Brookline works it back. Speicher goes up to Goldberg. Another slide tackle attempt from 13 as it's passed back to Speicher. Across to Littman. Walpole, very aggressive pressure on the Brookline side of the field to start this second half as Brookline works it far side. Speicher, long leading pass up. It's a race to the ball. Brookline gets there first. Weaving around was Goldberg, but swooping back and taking it, I believe, was number 13. Tries the clear kick here. Bounces upfield, number 9. Takes it battling with Fitzgerald. Lost out of bounds. And it's going to be Walpole ball.
As you said, Jesse, Walpole playing really aggressive now. As they've shifted their strategy for a while, they were playing a balanced defense. Then they tried the offside trap. That worked for a while. Then they gave up a goal assisted by Alex Spagula. And then now they're playing this aggressive defense. You got to think they could be just trying out different defenses here in this second half, down 4-0. See what works.
Yeah, I mean, when you're down 4, you know, there's not much to lose. You just gotta find ways to attack if you want to get back in it. Brookline throw in off ricochet. It's taken back by the Timberwolves. Number 5 kick up, knocked back by Fitzgerald. Now more ricochets and Walpole takes it. A lot of hard fights around the midfield, but the Timberwolves now bringing it up. 19 leaves it for 6. 6 pass up for 10. Cut off by Applebaum, knocks it out of bounds. It'll be a Walpole throw-in.
Applebaum losing the physical. He gets bodied there. In a rare case of Walpole outstrengthening Brookline, just being a little bit more physical, but Brookline's had the upper hand on that for the most part this game.
Walpole does lose that ball out the back line, and it will now be a goal kick for the Warriors.
Warriors, nobody in the Walpole half. As now Friedman and Coy and Nicole come out. Now Nicole comes back.
This kick up off the head of 6. Favorable ricochet for Walpole. Offsides called.
And Jesse, that offsides couldn't come at a worse time for Walpole. It looks like they're about to have another chance. As they've been slowly but surely getting a little bit better here in the second half and the late first half. They had a couple more chances, but unlucky there.
We got a hard collision there, out of bounds Brookline ball. And Sam, I always have a bit of a running joke for when I cover soccer when trying to explain the offside rules to anyone who doesn't understand it, because they can sometimes feel a little complicated. I always say, if the player seems like they're too wide open to be true, they're probably offsides. But Walpole working this back on the counter once again. 19 sends it up the near sideline looking for 10, and Lockwood body checks him there and is called for the foul.
Nate Lockwood undercutting number 10 there. Almost a hockey play there.
I was thinking the exact
rammed into
same
him.
thing.
That's what's been happening this whole game. Brookline so much more physical than Walpole. I can only count one play where Walpole body checked a Brookline player. Besides that, it's been all Brookline. But as you were saying earlier, Jesse, about the offside thing, I think it's the rule where when you're little and you're playing soccer and you just stand in front of the goal, you can't do that. That's offside.
100%. That header flies wide and out the back line.
It's almost like rooting the fun of the game. I understand the rules for it, but there's a certain level to it.
You know, I'm not going to lie. I used to feel the same way you did, Sam, but now having watched a bunch of soccer for this job, I've really come to appreciate the challenge and the puzzle that soccer becomes when you apply those offside rules. Corner kick flies in for Walpole, caught out of the air by the outstretched fingers of Alex Magula.
Definitely, I agree with you actually, Jesse, but when I was a little bit younger, I thought, like, why do that? Why not have more goals? But it really is much more strategic, more of a chess game when you bring it in.
Absolutely. Now Walpole kicks this one across midfield, deflects, recovered by Grady Ames. Ames sends it forward for Lawrence. Lawrence dribbling up, looking, Gets a pass through. Nicoli, shot saved by the Walpole keeper.
Nicoli tried to hit it across the ground. Walpole keeper diving to his left, able to corral it. Another chance for Brookline now.
Yeah, that's one of those opportunities where it's almost too good of an opportunity, and you're worried about launching the kick and missing the net, and so you just go for a simple tap, thinking you've got so much space the goalie won't possibly get it. But the goalie got it that time, as he didn't go wide enough, didn't want to risk hitting the post.
Sometimes it's so easy to score that it ends up being harder than if you got a cross coming into the box or you have somebody on you and you're trying to rifle one in the top corner, bottom corner.
Exactly. Got some subs checking in for Brookline. Danmarth Dovillier replacing Koya Nicoli. And Walpole's goal kick straight at Dovillier. And Dovillier is going to take off upfield. Dovillier trying to get around his defender. Charging in, crosser pass, nobody there. Kicked away by the Walpole defense.
Good cross in from Danmarth Dovillier. He got around. Oh, and a ball comes back in and hits Jacob Freeman in the face.
Oh my goodness. They're trying to get the ball. They're trying to get the ball back to the players, but they were trying to help Dovillier up. I shouldn't laugh, but I'm only laughing because it looks like Friedman is okay. If he was actually hurt, I would not be laughing. But because he's okay, that is just the goofiest looking thing.
For sure, Jesse.
I'm sorry, Jacob, if you're watching this back after the fact.
Hoping you're okay, but
yeah,
that was hilarious.
I'm only laughing because it seems like you're okay, so I'm assuming you are. Corner kick for Brookline, flies in, and oh! Was that?
Olympico whistle blown. It looks like it won't count.
No, did they call offsides on? But whatever the call, it's not a goal.
And that's unbelievable. An Olympico goal, a disallowed Olympico goal. We've had everything, Jesse, in this game. A goalie assist, a disallowed Olympico goal.
And now Brookline working with the ball again. They've come close a couple of times to getting their first second half score. But nothing yet as the score remains 4-0. Lawrence pass popped up in the air out to Applebaum. Applebaum taps it forward for Dovillier. Knocked out of bounds. Oh, but an offsides call first against Dovillier.
Dovillier trying to work the left side of the box and also on the left wing trying to play one into the box. He's had some pretty good success, just hasn't been able to time anything up just yet.
Yeah, he almost timed that one perfectly, shedding his defender on that one, but they call it he was just a step past his defender for the offsides that time. Free kick from number 2. Off the head of Lockwood. Off the head of, I think, 19. Tapped forward for Walpole. They pass it back. Hard fight around the middle.
It's off the face of Goldberg.
And now 11 swoops in, takes it, but he's cut off, taken back by the Warriors. Go out far side for Friedman. Friedman running up with it. Friedman pass ahead. Dovillier try to jump ahead, but it's cut off by number 2. Knocked out of bounds now, and it's going to be a Walpole goal kick.
Jacob Friedman, he's had a good day today, and last week when I covered the game with you, Jacob Friedman scored a goal, scored the only goal for Brookline in the game against Framingham, and then after he scored the goal, about 30 seconds later, he had another chance where he took it down the left side, almost scoring again.
Jacob Friedman has registered a point in 3 of Brookline's last 4 games. Like you said, got that goal against Framingham, got Brookline's second goal here today, and had an assist in the win against Weymouth. So he's been a big part of Brookline's offense of late. Now Walpole trying to work the ball. They decide to send it back to number 11 to try and reset. Pass across the middle, number 5 up to number 6. Now out near side to number 12. 12 battling with Applebaum. They're getting tangled up. Pass to 6. High. Crosser too high. I think he rushed that kick a bit. Has needed a little less mustard on that one.
You got to think maybe he gets a little bit nervous there, just trying to get something into the box the way Brookline's defense is played today.
Brookline throwing it in along the far side. Deflects off the head of a Timberwolves player, out of bounds. Now another throw in up the line, and Dauvilliers not offsides, charging in, pass back, Friedman, shot, scores! Jacob Friedman from Denmark. Dauvilliers as number 7 gets goal number 2 for himself and number 5 for his team.
Jacob Friedman rifles it into the top left corner. Asui on the right side of the field as he was sprinting away out of excitement. It's his 2nd goal of the game.
Great assist from the freshman, Denmark Dauvilliers. And a great finish by Jacob Friedman. 2 goals on the day for the Brookline junior. 5-0 is the Brookline lead here in the second half as Brookline finally gets their first second half score. Feels weird to say finally, but they've had so many close misses and big saves by the Walpole netminder that even with a 4-goal lead, it felt like they should have had a ton more. And now Brookline working on the attack again. That leading kick a little too far, but Friedman slides in for a slide tackle, called for the foul that time. And it'll be a free kick for the Timberwolves.
Jacob Friedman getting a bit too excited, but it's the hustle of Jacob Friedman today on that right wing for Brookline. He's one of the guys that really represents the Brookline Warriors soccer team, just high-octane offense.
And the offense certainly looking high-octane, more high-octane than it's been for the entire rest of the season. I mean, we're getting to a point where today's goal count can compare with the goal count of the entire rest of the season for Brookline. And they're trying to set something up again. Long leading kick, knocked away briefly by the defense as Ames could not get there first. Out of bounds, it'll be a Brookline throw-in deep in the Walpole end.
Looked like they were either looking for Friedman or Dauvilliers, and then got it right in between the two of them with a through ball. Almost too good of a pass.
Throw in into the box, kicked away by the Walpole defense, knocked back down. Lawrence takes it. Lawrence from the far side. Not a lot of space, battling against a double team, and now a third defender comes in and kicks it away. Now Fitzgerald recovers it, sends it back to Littman. Littman kicks it away. Now it's headed forward to number 10, disrupted by Brookline, recovered by Fitzgerald. Sends it across, Applebaum, back to Smagula. Smagula up the middle, Goldberg. A long leading kick, Dauvilliers. If he's not offside, this could be a huge chance. Not offside, Dauvilliers setting up, shot, scores! The freshman gets in on the fun, first an assist and now a goal for Denmark Dauvilliers.
What a day for Denmark Dauvilliers. He catches the goalie way out of his net, curls it around, beautiful goal, and now 6 for Brookline.
Boy, such a long leading kick. It was so far back I kind of forgot who it was because I wasn't thinking, oh, better think of who that player is for the assist. And the replay's not much help because of the sun. Oh, man. Sam, I don't suppose you remember who kicked that one up to Dauvilliers?
Nope.
I'm going to have to go back and look at that one. Might have been Lawrence a second time, or it might have been Goldberg or something. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm going to have to go back and check that.
Well,
that's one of those ones. I say usually if it's the guy seems too open to be true, he's offsides. Dauvilliers seemed too open to be true. He wasn't offsides, though. He just got such a jump on the Walpole defenders.
Well, the speed of Denmark Dauvilliers, that's part of why he's on the team as a freshman. That explosive speed, he can get ahead. Even if it looks like he's offsides, he cannot be. But you got to think possibly Wally Lawrence, the way he's played today.
Yep, that's my guess there. Dauvilliers a steal, and Dauvilliers off to the races. Dauvilliers charging in. Crosser not there. Might have been going for a shot to the right side corner, but just curved a little too wide. Pass couldn't be picked up by Torres. And whether it was a pass or a shot, either way, it goes out the back end. Goal kick for Walpole.
A kick from Denmark Dauvilliers, barely missing the post. That's one of those where sometimes you can't tell if he's taking a shot or a cross. The indecisiveness, and he just missed it. Was looking for his second goal of the game and back-to-back goals.
We've got a substitution in net for Brookline. I'm going to briefly slide over there just to draw attention to the fact that subbing in the net for Brookline is their senior netminder, Luca Campbell. First time I've seen him in net this season, and Brookline very confident in their 6-goal lead as another player checking in for the first time I've seen. Number 27, Timur Tunkman, is in the game as one of Brookline's center backs, replacing Jonah Littman. Brookline giving some playing times to some of their seniors who have been kind of riding the bench so far this season. That's really nice to see. One of the nicer things you get out of a blowout game is that some players will get playing time they wouldn't normally get. Tunkman boots this one upfield. Off the deflection, it's corralled by Lockwood. Lockwood now dribbling up with it. He pops one up in the air, and it's not in a spot where anyone can take it.
As Campbell grabs it, that's his first official save of the game.
I don't think they got a shot
Not
off.
even a save, but
yeah, that wasn't,
just
that
his
wasn't
first
a save.
interaction of the game.
Indeed. Although on the other end, not that play just there.
Yeah.
This one still now out of bounds, Walpole ball.
As Brookline have continued to dominate in the second half, and as you were saying, Jesse, it felt like they definitely could have more. It's almost felt slow in the second half, even with 2 goals that we've been able to grow accustomed to their explosive offense.
And Walpole trying to generate some offense of their own. Pass goes out to 17. 17 turns, shot blocked by Applebaum. Bouncing into open field where it's chased down by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald has got 1 goal so far today as he hits a crosser, knocked away. And deflects the other way, but recovered by Speicher, which allows Fitzgerald to retreat back to his defensive spot. That pass deflects too hard off the body of Dauvilliers. Now chased down by Walpole's number 21. 21. Kicks one, and that's just going to fly out the back end. And that's going to be a goal kick.
This 21 almost hits the guy.
And we
on
got
the sideline.
We got some more subs checking in for Brookline. On the far side is number 2, Sammy Treestman, a young sophomore that, again, been riding the bench for the most part. He even saw some time playing for the JV squad in that Weymouth game, as Walpole has subbed out their goalie as well.
And you got to think both of these teams, Jesse, just trying to develop their rosters and also give playing time. As you were saying, the seniors that have been riding the bench haven't gotten a lot of playing time in their final year, definitely giving them a shot to play some.
Yeah, and you're going to hear some loud cheering from the bench, especially from Brookline's bench, anytime those guys make a play. Those are the guys, they come to practice every day, they work their butts off. You know, maybe not able to get a lot of playing time in the games, but they're there, they're part of a team, and, you know, it's kind of, you know, almost kind of like that Rudy moment where the backups get a chance to shine, and all their teammates just so happy to see them get a chance to play in the game. And that one lost out of bounds. Applebaum aiming for Sierra. It rolls out. Number 21 throws it in to number 5. Taps it back, 13, out to 21, boots it across the field, and Dauvilliers trying to take it away, but just barely stopped by the defense, I think, number 2. Pass it to 5. Slides it all the way back to the backup goalie now. Sends it up to 21. Oh, mishandled it, though, and Sierra pokes it away, gets it back to Applebaum. Applebaum across to Lawrence. Lawrence with at least 1 assist, possibly 2 so far as he lifts one high. Dauvilliers called off sides.
And Marc Dauvilliers just coming off sides. He's got that speed, but sometimes just takes a little bit too much of a jump.
Yeah, it can be so tough to time because it's like if the ball's flying over the defender, when do you try and jump around them so you can get to the ball? I mean, the offside rule is catered to favor the defense, so it can be so hard figuring out just what the right move is, which is why it can be so impressive when the offense manages to get a jump forward that works. This one deflects to Dauvilliers. Dauvilliers pass up Ames. Ames charging in. Ames shot saved. Knocked in. Jad Torres.
Jad Torres with his first goal of the game as he gets the second chance. After a save from the Walpole goalkeeper, Jad Torres just right in front of goal, took a touch, and then blasted in.
Yeah, we talked about similarities to hockey. That felt like a hockey goal right there. That guy who just crashes the net as his teammate is shooting it, and off the goalie, it bounces right to him, and he takes advantage. Perfect positioning. Jad Torres with his first goal of the day. Grady Ames with his second assist as he's now taken part in 3 goals today. 1 goal and 2 assists as Brookline goes up 7-0. Now 21 trying to push it forward, and it's taken another sub in for Brookline, number 30, Lars Peterson, their other freshman, who is also, like Treestman, seen some time playing for JV, getting a chance to play here, but they're going to call a handball on Peterson as that deflected ball flew right into his body there.
Now a dangerous area for Walpole. Now as they bring up most of their players, only 1 player back, number 2 for Walpole. Everybody else crashing into the box. Number 5 to take as Brookline moves their wall to the right here.
Kick from 5, up in the air, header over the bar.
That one almost looked like it went into the goal, but just goes wide and over.
Those optical illusions, man. You know, the fans at home might have a more upward view, so they might not get fooled by those plays. But when you're at field level, it can be such an optical illusion.
Especially from our angle.
Campbell with the goal kick. Now it's passed from Lockwood to Lawrence over to Tunkman. Tunkman dribbling up, passes up to Peterson. Peterson taking off, kicks one forward, deflects a couple of times, and blocked now by Maury Shende-Ruiz. Shende-Ruiz running in, pass, shot, oh, just wide off the shot from Jad Torres, who is trying to get his second goal of the day. And instead it'll be a goal kick for the Walpole keeper.
Jad Torres crashing the box yet again. As we were talking about high-octane offense from a guy like Jad Torres, Jacob Friedman, as Torres just missed it there.
Number 21 controlling the ball here. Torres applying pressure, so is Shende-Ruiz. 21 finally gets away, but it's wide, intercepted by Applebaum. Knocked out of bounds by Walpole's number 17. It'll be a Brookline throw-in. Throw-in goes to Julian Weil. Couple deflections. Tap towards the middle. Still scrumming for it. Looks like Walpole's got it, but Peterson not giving up on the pursuit. Now kicked upfield, corralled by Lawrence. And now sent out to the far side. Treestman working his way upfield. Pass. Misses the mark. Aimed at number 6, Kai Putney. Now Treestman dribbling. Looking around. Taps back out. Putney. Putney sends it back. Lockwood up to Putney. Putney in limited space and gets tangled up, pulls the Walpole player down, and is called for the foul.
And Kai Putney moving back and forth, trying to showcase his dribble moves there, and if you're a guy playing in this stage of the game, you got to think, might as well showcase whatever you have in terms of skill. Up 7-0. So now Walpole with a free kick. They blasted deep.
This one chased down by Treisman, pops it out of bounds on the far side. It'll be a Walpole throw-in.
So Walpole still playing with one defender back, even on the throw and down by this margin. They have been pressing more. You gotta say, Jesse, than before in the game with the offside traps. They've been more of a pressing offense. It's worked out for them a little bit better.
Throw in here, knocked away by Brookline, knocked back by 11. Walpole works it towards the box, booted away by Timur Tunkman. Torres trying to dribble up, blocked by 13. Now a long shot is going to be scooped up wide of the net by Luca Campbell.
There, Walpole just trying to get any type of shot, Jesse. Shot's a shot at this point.
Tunkman, pass across, Lockwood. Lockwood boots one way upfield. Torres on his horse, kicked away by 13. Deflected down and corralled by 21. Pass up to 5. 5. Pass to 11. 11 going up the far side. Long pass up, finds its target. Long shot is wide of the net.
Another long shot now for Walpole. Their second just trying to score a deep, long banger, possibly just get any shot possible.
Now Lockwood sends one up for Putney. Putney back to Lawrence. Lawrence up to Putney, back to Lockwood. Across for Tunkman. Tunkman up the middle to Weil. And now it's taken back by, I think, 6. Couple passes, goes out far side. Cross to 5. 5 winds, long shot over the bar. As that one came kind of close, it was being well tracked by Campbell.
5 almost got that one into the top right corner, Jesse. But he just blasts it with a little bit too much of an arc on it. Can't get it back down. Now a goal kick for the Warriors.
Subbing in for Brookline, number 26, Frederick Schreiber-Wachnick replaces Wally Lawrence. So Brookline gradually taking more and more of their regular players off the field. Peterson pass out to Applebaum. Applebaum is still battling up the near sideline. Pass misses. Peterson taken away by number 2 for Walpole. And running upfield gets knocked over by Peterson. No call. Another hard collision. Still no call as they're letting them play. As Walpole now clears this one out. 13 kicks it up. And now they call Tunkman for the push in the back.
Push on Tunkman, but Lars Peterson, one of the 2 freshmen on this team, bodying 2 guys in a row. Impressive here on the near side before he got the ball taken from him. It's like a free kick? Or?
Yep, it's going to be a free kick. They just got to get the ball back to the right spot for the free kick.
Free kick for Walpole. So you can gradually feel the energy go down here at Skyline Park with Brookline ahead with this comfortable of a lead.
Yeah, they don't get much more comfortable than 7-0. Most of the energy we're feeling is coming from players that want to take advantage of the playing time they're getting.
Oh, you bet.
As this a long shot in, and it skips past Campbell and into the net. Number 2 with the goal as Walpole breaks the shutout.
Miscommunication from the Brookline defense.
Yeah, I think Campbell just misread the curve on that one. Might have been expecting one of the Walpole players cutting in to get a touch on it, and he didn't. So he was expecting a redirect that just never happened.
It looked like the ball was headed towards Campbell, and then it curved a little, and then it just curved at the last second sharply to the left. If there's time for mistakes like that, definitely when you're up by 7, now 6.
So now Schreiber-Wachnick passes up to Peterson, knocked out of bounds by Walpole's number 21. Throw in coming for Brookline. Goldberg throws it up. Shende Ruiz taps it back to Weil. Weil tripped up, and it's taken away by Walpole's 24. Now chasing after it is Treestman. It's knocked out, or I think they might have called a foul actually on Walpole here. I think this is going to be a free kick for Brookline as Treestman setting up to take it.
Possibly dangerous situation here for Sammy Treestman to place a time to prove himself as he hits it low.
And it goes to Torres. Torres, pass back Treestman, now sends it into the box. Bouncing along, it's taken by the keeper.
Brookline moving up quickly. They got two strikers beyond the offside line right now.
Now it's punted up, high and shallow. Tapped back from Schreiber-Wachnick to Goldberg. He goes back to Lockwood. Lockwood up to Schreiber-Wachnick. Now out to Putney. Putney misses Torres there wide and out of bounds.
So now Brookline playing two back right now, mostly an offensive formation, two, about three.
This one headed down and scrum for the ball. It looks like Walpole's got it. Pass goes back, booted up by 11. Knocked back by Tunkman, but knocked back the other way. Recovered now by Goldberg, who clears it out of there. Upfield, it's chased down by Shende Ruiz. Shende Ruiz racing up with it. Shende Ruiz still charging in. Shende Ruiz, shot does not get through. The Walpole defense blocks it and keeps it out of the net.
Shende Ruiz doing it all himself, a step away from scoring. Just took it down the left side.
And now a goal kick for the Timberwolves. Downed by Schreiber-Wachnick. Tap forward was blocked. Now taken by the Timberwolves. Swooping in, taking it away is Putney. And a bunch of battles for the ball. Coming out with it is Walpole's number 11. Kicks it upfield, knocked back by Lockwood. Controlled by Brookline. Long pass up. Shende Ruiz whistled for offsides as he was way out ahead of the defense there.
I definitely saw. I think you saw that one. I saw that one. Shende Ruiz, more than a body beyond the Walpole defense.
A few yards beyond
for
the
sure.
defense on that one.
It's by far. This Brookline have for sure slowed down, taking out their starters, but still maintain the offensive pressure, up 7-1 over Walpole here.
Long kick goes up to 21. 21 boots it, caught by Campbell.
Luka Campbell coming out, and he's played strong after the miscommunication with his defense, which allowed Walpole's only goal off of a free kick.
Tunkman's pass gets past Peterson, kicked away by 21, recovered now by Putney, pass to the middle, not there, taken away by 24, now out to 21. 21 pass for 24. 24 pass back, intercepted, Shende Ruiz. Shende Ruiz picking up speed. Shende Ruiz dribbling. Being pursued from behind, but cuts around. Shende Ruiz out of reach, recovered by Torres, and he gets hit from behind and appears to draw the foul.
As Jad Torres rolling around, hope he's all right. He gets up, and he looks fine. And sometimes, Jesse, when you can see a player rolling around like that, it's a sign that he's okay.
So Brookline taking a free kick from a strange angle. It's almost a short corner kick here, not great of an angle for a shot, but we'll see what Brookline tries to do here. I think this is Treestman lining up to take
Yep, that's Sammy Treestman.
this free kick, although he's moving away from it. And so instead, I think it's Torres
Yep,
kicking
Jack
it in.
Torres.
Headed out, chased down by Treestman, trying to block the clear attempts. Walpole tries to pass out, intercepted by Goldberg, but taken back by Walpole. Pass gets through, up to 17. 17 racing upfield, one-on-one with Tunkman, and Tunkman knocks it away. Tunkman downs it, kicks it upfield. Stolen back by 6. Now recovered, kick upfield, and Shende Ruiz called offsides again.
Shende Ruiz, when he's not offsides, he's played a pivotal role in this late game attack for Brookline. He's been virtually unmarked, but sometimes a little bit too unmarked when he comes off. He's just been mistiming his runs here and there.
Walpole working it upfield. Kicked back, and that bounces well wide of the net.
Jesse, this game, Brookline, the whole team has played well. These substitutes have done their job. The core players for Brookline, the starting lineup, they just dominated Walpole. I think overall this is a game that, even though Walpole being a Division II team, Brookline being Division I, you can definitely look back and say, we did a lot of good things if you're Brookline.
Absolutely. Brookline certainly well on their way to their second win of the year. This will improve their record to 2-5-2. Walpole suffering what seems to be their worst loss of the season in terms of margin, and especially in terms of defensive performance, as they are going to fall to 0-8.
An offensive performance, too. They definitely struggled against Brookline's defense. They only got a couple shots off. Their only goal was off of miscommunication. The shots they were able to get, some of them were really close, but just weren't that many of them.
Now they're trying to battle up with it. Pass to the middle, knocked away by Tunkman. Timur Tunkman making the most of his time, and that time is up because there's the triple whistle, and that is your ball game. Brookline dominant in victory today. The final score, the Brookline Warriors 7, the Walpole Timberwolves 1. Final stats. Let's try and do this. First goal was Koya Nicoli, assisted by Grady Ames. The second goal was Jacob Friedman, assisted by Wally Lawrence. Third goal, Jack Fitzgerald, assisted by Santi Sierra. Fourth goal, the fourth goal was Grady Ames, assisted by Alec Smagula. The fifth goal was Jacob Friedman again, assisted by Danmarth Dovillier. The sixth goal was Dovillier, getting a goal assisted, we think, by Wally Lawrence. I'm going to go back and double check that. But for now, I'll just say it was Lawrence. And then the last goal scored by Jad Torres, assisted by Grady Ames. And that's all 7. Walpole got a late goal on a free kick by number 2. But final stats for Brookline, 1 goal and 2 assists for Grady Ames to lead the way. 2 goals for Jacob Friedman, the only multi-goal scorer despite the high scoring output. Danmarth Dovillier with 1 goal and 1 assist, both in the second half. Wally Lawrence, tentatively I have with 2 assists. I'm pretty sure, just not 100%. And then 1 goal each from Jack Fitzgerald, Koya Nicoli, and Jad Torres, and one assist each from Alex Magula, Santi Sierra, and yep, that is it. What a day for Brookline as they improved to 2-5-2. Walpole falls to 0-8, and Sam, thank you so much for joining me again for this one. This was fun.
Thanks so much for having me. It was a great game from Brookline. Not every day is it so hard to track who scored the goals. We saw a lot. We also saw an Olympico goal that was disallowed in this game. It was a great game played by Brookline. 7 great goals, and thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. All right, thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan alongside Sam Lowenstein. Thanks again to Ash Dental for sponsoring this broadcast. Ash Dental, located right in Coolidge Corner. You can book your next dental appointment with local dentist and BHS sports parent Dr. Brandon Esch for the non-corporate personalized dentistry our community deserves. Call 617-566-0103 or go online to eshdental.com to find out more and book your appointment. Once again, 617-566-0103 or go online to eashdental.com. All that information down in the description section down below, as is the link to the official Venmo account of the Friends of BHS Soccer Booster Club, which supports all 6 Brookline High soccer teams, boys and girls, varsity, JV, and freshmen. You can find that link down there. You can also find the links for our local charity Spotlight, Brookline Cares, if you'd like to support them. You can also find some links further down in the description section that you can also see on the bottom right corner of your screen relating to me, my personal website, jessesports.com, where you can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Or you can simply email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And you can also follow me on social media on Instagram and Facebook, where I post highlights from previous live streams and the links to upcoming live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. If you enjoyed this one, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But for now, final score, Brookline 7, Walpole 1 from Skyline Park alongside Sam Lowenstein. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.